Hey guys, my name is Hunter and welcome to The Girl Can Cook. This is my first episode of my cooking show that I'm continuing to do as a hobby on the weekends. And today our first episode is going to be called Wicked Good Key Lime Pie Bars. My aunt made this past Christmas some really awesome chest pie bars. And I was really been craving key lime pie since the first week of December, which is really strange because normally it's a hot weathered food. So today I took her recipe, which is really simple and uses only a few ingredients, and we are making key lime pie bars, and they are super awesome. Okay, first what you've got to do is you have to have a cake mix. I use Betty Crocker's Super Moist Yellow Cake Mix. And then you need to melt your butter and a whole stick of melted butter for the crust. We're going to pour it into making a mixture. Then you're going to take your fork and make it into a crumb-like consistency. Everything needs to be moistened. When it starts looking like that, you're almost ready to put it into the prepared pan, which is an 8x8 baking sheet pan. And it's okay if you have a few cake crumbs that aren't entirely moistened, because the butter is going to seep through when it's cooking and it's going to get all moist. And it's okay if you have big clumps. Now what you're going to do is you want to take your pan from over here. I'm using a silicone pan for the video, but you can always use a glass or metal pan. Then what you'll do is you'll put it over here and make sure it's not off the edge of the counter so it doesn't fall. You're going to pour it into the pan. And it may look like a lot, but it ends up being even. Set that aside. Then what you're going to do is you're going to spread it out and pat it down. And I like to break up the big pieces so that it's more even. Now you need to set this aside. Now what you're going to do is you want to take your mixer, make sure it's unlocked. And pull it out. And you're going to put 1 8-ounce box of cream cheese softened. I like to just throw it in there. Then you're going to take 1 whole egg, 1 cup of powdered sugar, sometimes it's hard to do if you have an attachment like this. I use the Goodman's Pure Vanilla Extract. And I like this because the cap ends up being 1 teaspoon. And that's exactly the amount I need. I've used McCormick too, and that's the same, and it equals the same amount for the cap if you pour it in there. But you can always use measuring spoons. Now what you're going to do is you're going to zest some two small key limes. You can always use the zest of 1 larger lime, but key lime's what makes key lime pie. And how to zest this is you're going to take the green part of the fruit and you're going to rub it against a microplane, which is like a tinier version of a cheese grater. But you're going to make sure you do not rub the white part, only the colored part. When it gets to look like that, then you need to switch to another part of the fruit. And you need to always tap the microplane over the bowl with what you're zesting with, so that way all the zest comes out. Now what you're going to do, after you've got the two zests, then what you're going to cut the lime in half with a sharp knife. Make sure you get the seeds out. And if they don't come out the first time, that's okay. You can always get them out with a spoon later. What you're going to do is you're just going to squeeze the juice. Make sure you get all of the juice out. Kind of a cloudy lime green color. Now you're going to add it to the baking mixture of the cream cheese in it. Now I'm using one of these KitchenAid mixers, but you can always use a hand mixer, and that's what I did the other batch with. You're going to lock it and turn it on. Whoops, and not like that. It's a little clumpy. Kind of looks like really creamy scrambled eggs right now. And that's okay, because it doesn't have to be pretty. It's going to be delicious. You're going to bring back your crust mixture that you've made earlier. You're going to pour it on top. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put it into the preheated oven. At 350 degrees. For 40 minutes. While it's cooking, I have one already prepared. I want to grab that from the refrigerator. Well, I just took this out of the refrigerator after it's cooled down, completely cooled. Then I'm going to sprinkle it with powdered sugar. Now, I like a little bit of zest on top, freshly grated. Which I've almost run out of zest on my lime because I've used it all. Just remember to tap it always. And if that doesn't work, you can always get a spoon and grate it, because you can always see that there's some still in there. Now for plating. Now for the taste. It's awesome. Now, if you really like this video, please check out my blog at hunterliketocook.blogspot.com. Bye guys!